lot of respect for Renegade.
Yep, right now this Volt is the first pick, Blacklist International, the second pick, Blacklist going for those jungler bans, betting out the Nolan as well as the Guinevere. This Volt betting out the Matilda as well as the 1-1. I'm just gonna put my point in as well because you guys were talking about the mentality game. I kind of feel like Blacklist mentality, they don't lose to the same team twice, is gonna help them out in this best of 5. Because I feel like in the long series, Blacklist is gonna learn much more about their opponents than what their opponents can learn about them.
Definitely possible. I think there's a lot of angles you could come at this. Blacklist, I'm wondering, do they still have anything up their sleeve, and are they going to need to use it here? We saw that Devu has a little bit of a larger hero pool right now with 25 picks over Black, only showing 20. But it could also mean that Blacklist is willing to just sit. They're very comfortable. They have what they need already, and it's been working very well for them.
At this point, I kind of feel like Farmis is going to be a pretty solid pick here. But again, giving UA that...
Wah,
ini
hero
kemenangan
kemarin.
dua game loh.
Ada notifnya nggak?
Tiga ya? Oh,
Ada notifnya nggak, guys?
Di ban dilepas kemarin dan bahkan Blacklist akhirnya ya bisa nge-secure poin kemarin itu. Dan Akai langsung di-respect
Ada notif nggak?
Ya, berarti dari deretan begitu banyaknya hero kemarin yang mungkin bermain untuk lawan Geek ya. Akai yang ke spawn mereka yang bahaya banget. Benar, tidak ada supportnya apapun itu ya.
Ada notif nggak?
Habis pinnya ya. Dan juga konteksnya adu objektif apapun juga tuh yang selalu.
I feel like this is where Deals Volt, they're really considering. Do they want the Faramis? Do they want something else like an Angela? Or a Lilia, right? Something that they have been able to first pick a lot of times, but they go for the Boxia instead. A pick that kind of gave Blacklist International in the early game up against
Sama nggak sih
a
detiknya,
lot
guys?
of problems. So maybe that might be the angle of attack for Deals Volt. They want to take control in the early stages.
Lebih cepet. Nggak ada ya, nggak ada notif ya?
We don't see a first pick blue side a whole lot.
Tapi kayaknya di Inggris lebih cepet deh, guys.
I think it's decent, especially like you said, taking away from Sensui. It gives them some fast pace as well.
Cepetan di Inggris atau di MPL Indonesia coba?
How much are they sacrificing just for the Basha here?
I feel like they're trying to threaten Blacklist International to pick up something like the
Bagi,
Angela, because the
halo.
Angela as well as the Boxia is very good tempo play from the early going to the mid. So Blacklist International, it's up to them. They're picking up the Bruno and the Valentina, so they're not staying away from the game plan. Even if there's Volt, they pick up something like a Faramis, something like an Angela, Blacklist is going to have it too. And again, we saw UA on this Valentina.
Gua lihat ya, cepetan mana ya?
Valentina.
I like it. I like it very much.
I don't, but thank you very much.
It's great. It's great. Devu, on the other hand, still looking for 2 more picks.
Iya, cepetan di Inggris, guys. Sumpah, kita wajib nobar di Inggris kali ini cepetin. Oke, guys, game 1. Siapa yang mau lihat Blacklist pulang? Ya, Akai counter Faramis.
Let me just say one thing. This is the stark difference
counter
that both teams'
Faramis.
playstyle is. For Blacklist International, they're very comfortable with disengage. They're very comfortable with kiting, and they're very comfortable with a prolonged team fight. One of the reasons why I kind of feel like the Akai is banned out, because the Akai is going to make it very difficult for Deus Volt to start any kind of team fight. So I feel like the ban is dictating the picks here for Deus Volt.
Pinter sih Deus. Lu lihat Deus Volt aja nge-ban Akai loh. Mereka nge-ban Akai loh, biar Faramisnya si Deus Volt ini nggak counter sama Akai.
The question before I even asked it was already answered. They want to compete in that trio mid division. They want to try to get neutral objectives as much as possible, and they need to facilitate that with giving a utility pick, a good one to last hit, like the Fredrid for Sensui. Yesterday we saw Akais all throughout. Now it's taken away, so the Fredrid. What do you think about this choice, right? I mean, the Fredrid has fallen hard out of popularity, out of the prio list, and it hasn't really had the best of tournaments so far.
I mean, Sensui has had a good Fredrin though. Blacklist is one of the same one teams that have had decent Fredrin games overall. They're one of the same teams right now that are like falling back to that regularly. Something important to point out though, Renegade, the heel man, 100% win rate on the rack right now, and I almost thought they were gonna slot that in before they slotted in the Fredrin. So at this point, I think something important for Devu, with Renegade not picked up right now, they need to focus hard in that hero pool. I think maybe ban out the Wrath here. They decide to go for the Lapu instead. Maybe not a whole lot of fear.
I feel like it's because that's what Geek Fam tried to do against Blacklist, and it didn't work.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, I feel like for Blacklist, one of the advantages that they have for Renegade, it is like a Swiss Army knife. He can do it all. He can play a catch hero. He can play a healer hero.
Semoga Bapak Au sukses. Wah, pada dukung Jomana. Pada dukung Devu, cok. Devu 57%. Nice. Pada dukung Devu, guys ya.
who is going to be their roamer is going to dictate. Is this going to be a Rafaela?
Hari ini nggak tahu ya, gue sempet gym atau enggak ya. Pokoknya Onyx Brand itu wajib nobar guys. Mungkin abis Onyx Brand, gue mungkin match terakhir nggak nobar kali ya. Kalau misalkan itu AP Brand yang kalah. Kalau Onyx yang kalah itu Onyx main 2 kali loh. Berarti Onyx wajib main hari ini 2 kali kalau kalah.
Going for the S-Nest, I think the S-Nest might be a bit more risky, right? Considering there's so much AoE damage and also already some anti-regen built into their composition with that Baxia pick. So something like a Rafaela gets you out,
Baxia, Terizla,
but something else
Faramis. Harusnya mereka nge-ban Xbox sih. Kalau mereka nggak nge-ban Xbox, ini Xbox bakal semena-mena guys menurut gua. Uranus masih bisa dibunuh. Sama
and we know Blacklist has that in your kit. You mentioned the Swiss Army knife. I don't think it's anything completely out of their range.
Dia ban edit, udah. Blacklist tinggal ngepick Xbox. Tapi last pick sih kayaknya Xbox ya. Kalau misalkan Devu ngepick Kari ya, ngepick Kari sama ngepick Roam tebel, Xbox menurut gua adalah jawaban terbaik. Bener gak sih guys? Vote, ini udah vote ini pada dukung Devu nih.
I kind of feel like for that Diggy pick, it's the strongest when you don't expect it.
Maxhill kan publik kalau diajak main MPL kira-kira bakal menang langsung nggak di first gamenya. Tergantung gua sebelumnya latihan keras atau enggak. Kalau cuma bacot abis itu main, kalah. Tergantung. Gua serius nggak mau menang. Oh mereka nggak last pick offline. Apa ya? Roamnya Devu ya?
And since you talk about Diggy, let's talk about Diggy.
Matilda masih ada. Voting capres Mac. Pada dukung Prabowo semua nggak sih pasti? Udah sembuh Max insomnia enggak? Gua minum obat tidur guys, jadi gue bisa tidur. Semoga Kokomex ini nggak berkegantungan sama obat tidur ya, semoga ya.
Nah, Mirko can go to the side. Desvolt now having the Brody as well as having the Angela.
Wah, Brody Angela. Bayangin Blacklist tadi ngambil Xbox cok. Kalau mereka ngambil Xbox udah OP banget. Ini Paku itu susah banget di game ini.
This time it's going to be the Brody, but still we know that combination is lethal.
Gila, ini draftnya Deus Volt ngeri banget, tai. Bisa ngepick Xbox aja ini udah menang aja kalau dapat Xbox. Xbox counter 5 hero sekaligus soalnya. Cuman masalahnya mereka udah pick Paku itu duluan. Ini bisa jadi kesalahan besar. Bukannya obat tidur harus dengan resep dokter, kan gue udah ke dokter Bang Gotama, dan dokternya sendiri memberikan gue obat tidur, obat penenang. Ini Tigreal juga bagus di game ini. Oke guys, apakah akan menjadi match terbesar, match super panas antara Blacklist melawan Deus Volt?
A 4-1 and then slowly get into a 5-man game again. So macro play, I kind of feel like Blacklist with their composition, they have the advantage here.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a whole lot to look at. Renny J getting a very aggressive roam pick. But we're about to jump into the land of dawn. Come on, Philippines!
Come on, Philippines!
Around the world, it's game number 1 of the semi-final lower bracket.
Gila. Game terseru nih kayaknya nih. Walaupun nanti ada Onyx Brand ya. Itu kayaknya itu udah puncaknya banget sih.
I was worried for a second there.
Cuman bedanya 15 detik Indo-Inggris. Tapi kan lebih cepat Inggris guys. Jadi gua nonton Inggris dong karena lebih cepat.
A lot of protection coming in from Blacklist International, making sure that Sensui's early movement all around the map, all around the jungle is not going to get interrupted.
And I really like that point, right? Because for Blacklist International, you mentioned they have more ways.
Oke guys, game pertama. Siapa yang mau lihat Blacklist pulang? Ayo. Ini bisa pulang nih Blacklist kalau kalah guys. Karena nyawa mereka masing-masing satu doang.
Alright, so we got the Hitman Paquito. We got Renny J on a very aggressive roamer as well. I feel like Blacklist may be able to get a little bit aggressive in the early game, maybe even push into enemy jungle, try to invade, try to disrupt the aggression that Deucefall.
Kok warnanya nggak enak? Wah, dari sananya guys, gue nggak tahu. Sumpah. Soalnya ops gue nih aman aja. Nggak ngaruh sih Edward mau kayak gini juga.
Sunset Lover needs to run away. Sawo gonna be the target. But Sensui will just commit the red tree. Doesn't really want to go for anything too much in the early stage.
All right, so Blacklist International making some quick rotations. Edward is definitely going to be able to move around the map a bit more than Kid Bomba. But anything crazy about these first item buys?
Oh. Honestly, looking at the
Onyx jam 2, iya Onyx jam 2 guys. Sekitar 4 jam lagi. Kalau ini 3-0 cepat mungkin habis itu gue game. Sempet. Kid Bomba sekarang cok. Bayangin itu Yuzong sama Fredrin ya, kalau nggak Khalid sama Fredrin kayaknya bisa mati deh.
And he loses the gold crab over to UA there. Turtle gonna be up in just a few seconds.
Oke, kita lihat turtle-nya dipegang sama Blacklist ya, karena offlane Devu kalah, junglernya juga kalah. Wah, Edwardnya udah ngebuang banyak banget nih. Wah, Edward. Wah, Renegade bagus banget. Tapi Baxia Angela ini super OP sih early game sih guys. Flicker kebuang gak sih? Flicker enggak panik. Ya ampun Sawo. Ngapain Sawo? Ini sebenarnya ya Deus Vault ini kuat banget loh early game-nya loh. Mereka megang Baxia Angela guys, hero yang emang kuat banget gitu early game-nya. Sejujurnya ya.
The game that they're playing is priority. Edward having that priority allows them to maneuver better in the fight.
Sawo.
This is a Deus Vault.
Sawonya sawo mateng anjing kematangan.
And Blacklist International, this is what I'm talking about. They're very good at kiting. The moment they understand they can't win, they're gonna have a safe distance. So Deus Vault, they gotta be careful. They're playing into Blacklist International's plan.
Deus Vault harus gas dari early game sih. Mati nggak nih Brodinya nih? Enggak lah, ada Angela coy. Dibalikin ini mah dibalikin, lu lihat guys, lihat. Baxia mengamuk Brody. Targetingnya nggak. Gue mati nggak ya? Mati kayaknya nih Brody ada ulti set. Gila bos. Brody Angela. Udah kayak Clover sama Erek AT nih gue lihat.
Maximum damage coming in from Carvey because of his emblem setup with the Master Assassin. So if Renegade was around closer to Carvey, he could have survived.
Devu, you know this is when they're feeling good. This is the mentality that they need coming in this game. Sawo dropping the TPs, dropping the taunts right now, but we are having a first look at these items, Lefel.
I kind of feel like the power spike is going to be a little bit faster for Sunset Lover just because the item that he's building is a little bit cheaper. But before that, Edward goes in. A big
mati dong Sawo dong.
Knocks him out. Sunset Lover zoned away. Now it's Magister who's looking for an angle back to try to claim this turtle, but Sensui is one level ahead. Yue dealing some good damage. The terrifying as well to pressure.
Devu, waduh. Anjir, jago juga Tigrealnya Renegade. Bukan player support doang. Ini kenapa jadi perang banget ya? Ini early game perang terus loh. Anjir di dodge. Jago cok Kid Bomba. Sumpah guys, gamenya Brodinya ngapain tuh? Brodinya miss tuh nih. Anjing seru banget guys. Menit 5 peperangannya udah kayak begini anjing. Gua akuin seru gamenya guys, seru. Gua akuin ini gamenya seru nih. Pagi-pagi otak gua langsung kebuka ya kan. Karena perang terus anjing.
I kind of feel like for Blacklist, the idea is we start the engage. Don't allow this Volt to start the engage because for this
Brodinya salah cok ciumannya.
They gotta go in hard.
Ciumannya bukan ciuman ke pacar atau istri ya, itu malah ciuman ke mantan anjing. Atau ciuman ke cewek lain. Salah cium dia.
So Blacklist International, they're completely fine with committing first, force Deus Vault to use all of their skills, and then they just take over the team fight later. Blacklist International, they're playing with
susahnya ya Devu ini nggak ada hero initiate sih. Kecuali Tigreal bisa sih, cuman Kurang lah menurut gua satu orang initiate itu kurang. Apalagi itu initiate dari offlaner, bukan dari hero tank yang stun lama ya. Kita lihat Kit Bomba menggila.
2-0-0. He had about 1,000k gold lead over Kid Bomba, or about an 800k gold lead over Kid Bomba. He is just feeling himself right now.
I can't believe he has 1,000k.
Keluarkan kata-kata kamus Max. Apa tuh kata-kata kamus? Kok gue lebih seneng Devu yang menang? Gue juga seneng Devu yang menang guys. Karena dengan menangnya Devu itu berarti sisa Rusia, Indonesia, Filipina. Jadi 3 negara yang bertarung. Kalau ini Blacklist menang, sisa 1 Indo, 2 Filipina. Gue gak suka kayak gitu. Kebanyakan Filipinnya. Gak salah sih murid R7. Mana ada gue murid R7, bukan. Rivalnya gue guys. Bukan Rusia ya? Ya pakai daerah sana lah. Mati lo Edward.
They needed that kill on Edward. It was very important to slow him down.
Lihat, Brodinya mau digas nih. Sama Tigreal, lihat. Faramis flicker. Wah, untung sempet cowok ultinya. Nice. Walaupun nggak pakai flicker ya, pakai purify. Faramisnya purify guys. Nice. Itu tapi range-nya bagus sih. Dia tahu posisi Brodinya lagi sendirian, cowok. Makanya dia gas.
The movement coming in, and especially because we looked at his emblem set, all about movement speed. He wants to make sure that he's a utility mid laner, but the thing is, now he has the necklace of Durance.
Tigreal sih pick baik di sini.
He becomes a damage dealer as well.
Definitely very true.
Lu lihat benderanya cok di atas ya, ECCA tuh daerah Eropa berarti guys ya. Bukan Rusia lah. Tapi kan kebanyakan playernya dari Rusia, Ukraine, daerah-daerah Eropa lah intinya guys. Daerah-daerah Uni Soviet. Lebih tepatnya ya Uni Soviet. Nice, di sini Kid Bomba ngemaksa defense ya. Player-player zaman dulu pasti maksa defense, abis itu mati, abis itu bilangnya 1 lawan 4 gue udah bisa defense nih. Wah GG, menang perangnya sumpah, menang. Oheb mati guys. Offside woy. Bisa gak sih? Bisa gak sih? Renege mati juga. Langsung mainin makro dong Brody dong. Makronya mainin cok. Nice, kita lihat mid lane-nya mau digas nih ya. Mid lane ya. Oh nggak mau. Paku itu langsung clear. Mereka mau lord. Hah? Mereka mau lord loh. Edward mati loh. Nice. Blacklist kebantai loh cok. Frederinya Brody. Mau ngapain lu Sensui? Mau ngapain? Dapat Lord kita bos. Deus fault nih bos. Senggol dong. Yue mati. Ya ampun Brodinya mati. Ya ampun. Rata cok. Ya ampun. Renege sih mau pakai support atau roamer jago ternyata ya. Bukan orang biasa dia. Kemarin game 1 Blacklist juga kebantai, iya sih. Kalau lawan Blacklist tuh kita nggak boleh seneng dari awal guys, karena mereka raja comeback ya bisa dibilang ya.
Totally not worth it, especially because he was on the carry. Carvey made a crucial mistake. At that HP,
disiplinnya terlalu gila sih Blacklist.
No matter the vision, even if you just see one person against a team like Blacklist, someone's waiting around the corner. That was a total mistake coming in from Carvey.
I think they thought they had staggered the death timers enough to make a big play again happen, just like they did into Edward in the mid lane.
Ini Baksianya sih tebel, nggak mungkin mati guys, nggak mungkin mati. Matinya aja masih 0. Ini Baksia lebih tebel dari Terizilanya bahkan.
But unfortunately, due to that mistake, they won't be able to find any value here. Maybe aside from the tier 1 in the mid lane, which does equalizes things a bit more. The minions should be able to take it down. No, Edward punches the minions out.
I love the fact though that Deus Volt right now is bringing it to Blacklist. A lot of people probably came into this wondering if they were going to be able to match up against such a top tier team.
looking at the items here, a big game changer for Sao having the Flash of the Oasis as well as having the fleeting time.
Posisinya sih udah ngeri ya.
Deus Volt getting
Devu ya.
one kill is gonna matter so much to them because they can prolong
Duitnya
the
beda
teamfight
2000 guys,
longer.
Blacklist menang
Having
2000.
the Flash of the Oasis makes it so that for Deus Volt, honestly, if Sao goes into Magister or Kid Bomba, might benefit him more, and Carvey just tries to free hit.
Opening up the map, Magister now going to be taunted down. The hard guard on him. It's not going to be used up just yet. Carvey as well finds those stacks. Now
Tapi
it's the time
logikanya-
for the question, LaFell. My question. Deus Volt have more healing.
Logikanya Bruno susah main sih. Bruno di sini bakal ngelawan Terizla Baxia guys. Kalian tau lah, Baxia tuh emang hero yang susah dibunuh sama Bruno. Mungkin Brody Kariwanwan bisa bunuh Baxia kali. Cuman buat Bruno ini menurut gua lumayan berat lah. Bisa dibunuh bisa, cuman lama gitu loh.
Yeah, definitely still the favorite, but honestly, it could turn at any moment.
Buat Bruno ngebunuh Baxia tuh butuh waktu lah. Kayak contoh Brody bunuh Baxia misalkan 2 detik, 3 detik. Mungkin Bruno butuh 4 detik guys. Jadi lebih bisa survive seorang Baxia ngelawan Bruno.
Deus Volt may be running out of time.
That's the thing, right? He's already hit critical mass. So Deus Volt really needs to look for an gun, just like this is when I say
Kebuang
it,
ulti Angela.
Carvey gets engaged on. The
Black
hard guard used up already. A pretty big resource in the 12th minute of the game.
As long as
Pakuitonya pinter sih Edward, dia cuma ngebuang ulti Angela doang.
Like what, 30 seconds, it's a big win for Blacklist International. The moment Blacklist makes a mistake, gives over a kill, then the fleeting time will trigger and it will basically null the advantage. So now Blacklist International 3,000 goal lead.
Minum apa ini? Minum namanya coklat.
And they're great at Lord
Biar
dances
kalori
here.
gue
Holding it
terpenuhi,
down, resetting again.
tapi
The
coklat
quick
itu
discipline as they
karena
get
gue
rid of
minum
the midway, but
smoothies,
Carvey's
gue
doing the
minumnya
same
bukan
thing
yang coklat
on
makan,
the
gue
other
bukan
side of
makan
the map
coklat, gue
in the
minum.
top lane.
Jadi
Mid lane
lebih gampang
pushing down, they need to
dicerna,
deal with that, or they're
sehingga
gonna lose their tier 2 turret.
apa namanya fat atau
And Kid Bomba gets isolated because of
coklat
that.
ini bisa
Takes a
dicerna
whole
dengan
lot of
baik.
damage now, and Blacklist
Bisa
International
nggak?
has done a lot of
Baxia.
damage on the Lord. Magister shield unity canceled. Kid Bomba with the penalty zone with the hard guard as well. Yue gonna be isolated from the team right now as he pops in another round, but that's gonna be the implosion. Disengage in the back. Still,
Liat.
Blacklist International needs to run away. Deus Volt are charging in. They're screaming Deus Volt as Renegade flickers.
Terlalu maksa sih.
Finds the
Tadi udah dapat satu udah sih.
necessary to take Kid Bomba down.
And Edward with the moves, Edward with the grooves. A quick little step in just to pick up the kill onto Kid Bomba, showing who's the better EXP.
Blacklist was patient, man. Again, this is where the experience goes in. They understand the strengths of the hero of Deus Volt. They're conditional.
Itemnya Edward keren sih.
It's conditional. When you're caught up,
Hunter,
you're
Domi,
gonna
Malefic,
receive
Radian.
so just go
Jarang-jarang
with
gua
all the
ngeliat
dashes that you
item
have,
Bakuito kayak
create
gitu,
your
guys.
distance, and having the
Damage
hustle
ada,
on
tebel
this
ada,
Bruno,
dan gak bikin
alongside
Bloodlust.
with
Karena
the
Bloodlust
Living
itu
Lord, with the Berserker Fury, just
lumayan
getting
gak
the
guna
jungle
ya
creep
di
is
teamfight
gonna
ya.
heal
Gunanya
up so
cuman pas
much.
landing
And
phase
the
doang.
awareness as well, right, LaFell? The fact that they know they have OHEB dealing this much damage, you don't need to go for engages, Renegade. Just use the implosion appeal.
And they keep on, I mean, they're literally walking into the implosion at this point. Renegade doesn't even have to try to hit anybody. He just waits for them because that's the way that Deus Volt plays. It makes the Tigreal look like it was meant just to counter their aggressive play style here. So Devu needs to find a way around that.
So something to note, even if there's no Akai, the Tigreal is there doing
Aduh, tolonglah
basically the same
Devu.
job.
Jangan sampai Blacklist menang guys.
Too good. Deus Volt in the bottom lane, Edward getting the turret down all the way top side as well. It's the Lord who did the work. Now it's
Kiri
only
kanannya
down to
pecah.
one base turret left for Deus Volt in this defense.
Makro juga kalah
Blacklist
sih.
International, they
Mereka
choose to
ngelawan
take the
Pakuito guys ya.
discipline route. They will disengage.
So LaFell, at this
One of
point,
the king
Deus
macro of
Volt
XP
sitting in the
laner.
back,
Jadi
6,000 goal behind, you know,
kalau kalian mau nanya
it's
siapa
definitely
sih
a hard
raja
one, but
makronya
we
di
did
XP
like their
laner, itu
composition
menurut gua untuk
overall.
meta ini ada
Is
dua
this
guys.
just a time
Benedetta,
of, do we just need to
Pakuito,
wait it
dua-duanya
out,
bisa
wait
di
for the
build
big play to
tank.
happen, or are the odds
Dengan
even
satu
less than
Hunter
that?
Strike full
Big
tank.
play
Jadi
is if somehow Kid Bomba
makro
or
bisa,
Sunset Lover can get
di
onto
teamfight
OHEB
juga
because
tebel.
OHEB is the reason
Jadi
why
kalau
they
kalian
can
tanya
win
ke
this
gua,
prolonged
Bang,
teamfight.
XP
Damage
laner yang
is
bisa
low.
makro paling
If
bagus
they can
apa sih
figure out a
sekarang
way
ya udah
to
jelas.
drop him down,
Pakuito,
there
Bennett.
is a chance.
Itu dua paling
Because
bagus.
without
Uranus
OHEB,
bang,
I would say
Uranus
even though they
itu
have the experience,
nggak sekuat Pakuito
they
Bennett
can't win.
makronya
It's just
karena
that they
clear
don't
lane-nya
do
nggak cepet.
It's crazy.
Lama
the fact that,
dia
you know,
clear
obviously
lane-nya.
for UA, for OHEB, we've been seeing these numbers pop up, but you'd expect Carvey and Sunset Lover to be doing the
Yuzong
most
bukan
damage
makro,
from Deus
anjing
Volt,
itu hero
but
team
it's the
fight.
Bomba
Makro itu
himself
adalah
that's up there, just
hero yang
second to
ngurusin
OHEB.
lane biar musuh
Is he building
kesusahan.
damage or is just a normal build? He just finding the right targets.
I would say it's because he
Yuzong,
keeps finding those
pala
AoE
bapak
damage.
au
Because
Yuzong
Blackness
makro.
They do like to clump up. And we saw the engagements coming in from Kid Bomba with the
Esme nggak bisa.
He,
Esme udah nggak meta juga, guys.
Fury Hammer. And I don't think at this point
Bisa Esme Uranus bisa, tapi emang levelnya di bawah Bennett Pakuito lah. Bennett sama Pakuito tetap nomor 1 dan nomor 2 gitu loh. Zilong makan tai aja lah. Jilong gimana caranya jadi XP tai? Mungkin di rank bisa kali ya. Anjing lu di turnamen pick Jilong XP sih dipukul sih kepala lu sama coach. Woi, kena tuh. Kita lihat peperangan. Wah, gila Tigrealnya. Bisa menang nggak ya Devu ya? Masih free hit sih Brody sih. Aduh Brody-nya. Wah, Brody-nya mati udah gigi. Gila, 5-5-nya masih hidup anjing. Team fight-nya kuat banget ya. Team fight-nya kuat banget loh Blacklist ini loh. Guys, team fight-nya Blacklist ini harusnya cuma jempol anjing. Kuat, team fight-nya Blacklist solid banget. Dia masuk keluarnya tuh rapi gitu loh. Jadi kalau satu udah mau mati, satu mundur, satu maju. Satu udah mau mati lagi, satu mundur, satu maju. Kayak rapi banget anjing. Terlalu rapi sih malah menurut gue ya. Terlalu rapi sih. Ngeri. Rapi banget, mainnya rapi banget, serius. Mengerikan.
Well, looks like the Tigreal is a very good
mengerikan.
Yeah, very solid pick indeed. I think that pick alone was the bane of Deus Vault's existence that game. So many times they got close to getting the pickoffs, but then would just get stopped in their tracks.
Kenapa nggak bisa gue
we aren't the brains of this
gitu
show.
Kan?
Let's throw it over to the wonderful, beautiful, handsome Leo and Wolf.
A very entertaining and explosive way to start this best of 5 between Blacks International and Deus Vult. Welcome to the analyst stand at your service. My name is Leo here with Wolf. And I gotta say, Rizal Memorial Coliseum, are you not entertained? Is that not the kind of match you want to start with?
Then we can see that it was the signature playstyle of Devu, at the same time the signature playstyle of Blacklist International clashing together. We knew that at the start of this match, this will be a styles clash. And we were given what we wanted. It's just that the Ube specialists reigned through.
And was it not just yesterday, less than 24 hours ago, that Blacklist International had to dealt with a very aggressive team in Geek Fam who owned the better part of the 8 and 9 minute mark, and then that's when Blacklist had to figure it out. Here, they were coming in, cocked and loaded. They were ready to face off against a team that was so ready to fight. Again, Davai Gaming at its best.
I'm just surprised how Devu went for this play, going for the Angela plus the Brody. It allowed them to be that aggressive, and that is actually the way to go. Now, going into this game number 1, we know that our MVP was OHEB. Unforgettable moment when after winning the second Lord of the game, what Devu did was to actually run down Blacklist International. Davai Gaming again, but OHEB kept his ground. He was able to punish Magister, the backshot that was chasing them. And many times in this game, OHEB's positioning allowed them to punish Devu when Devu wanted to push for more kills. It's all about that play. And OHEB, he dealt so much damage in that regard.
You'll see here in the highlights as we run through them, the moments in this game where OHEB showed that his Bruno was very much capable of dealing with Deus Vult's very aggressive forward front-to-front lineup. There was a part in the broadcast where our English desk, they asked, hey, between the styles of the lineups and the play style of Devu and Blacklist, who would win come the late game? I think the answer was clear. As long as OHEB continued playing this way, his auto attacks would trump all of the ults.
Yeah. Let the record show that Mr. Leo actually copied how the Bruno did it, how OHEB did it. All right. He can bounce. And by the way, I want to say that Renegade played so well in this game. I mean, come on. I have already posted so much about Renegade, and people might think that we are biased, but look at him in this game. Was able to save his teammates so many times. I think that this was a unique way of utilizing the implosion. This is a defensive implosion. All of the usages, maybe 9 out of 10 times that Renegade used the implosion was for defense. Watch out for Oheb, the way that he was able to punish the overextension coming out from Devu, and then another one as for some reason, the members of Blacklist International just survived through. And this is mainly because of the flicker usages, the battle spell usages, as well as the immortalities. In this particular game, all of the particular clash, I mean, all of the resources were in favor of Blacklist International. In fact, they had the battle spells, they have the ultimates, they have the immortality, and they have the better positioning, as well as the better items. I think that was when you already know that when it comes to the late game, Blacklist are massive.
Tadi ada yang ngomong kan?
That's right. We'll get deeper into the builds.
Max, gue orang Indo. Gue dukung AP brand boleh nggak tuh ada yang bilang tuh.
As it was, look at Renegade.
Alright,
that's what you gotta build, folks. And as well, I like the touch on the concussive blast. It helps clear waves faster.
Gue dukung AP brand. Menurut gue boleh-boleh aja, guys. Nggak ada yang ngelarang lu. Nggak ada yang ngelarang lu buat nggak ada yang ngelarang lu buat ngedukung AP brand. Cuman itu adalah tidak Indo Pride. Walaupun tidak ada hukum, nggak ada law, nggak ada hukum di Indonesia yang pasalnya tuh berbunyi nggak boleh dukung tim ini dengan karena negara ini nggak ada. Jadi itu terserah kalian. Cuman ya berarti kalian nggak Indo Pride gitu loh. Harusnya kita Indo Pride sama-sama memajukan bangsa kita agar bangsa kita itu menjadi bangsa dengan atlet Mobile Legends terbaik gitu loh. Apa salahnya sih kalau kita mempunyai suatu keunggulan game di bidang game? Karena menurut gue di bidang game itu mungkin ada negara-negara andalan ya. Contoh di Dota itu andalannya sekarang ada Rusia, ada Cina. Itu adalah dua powerhouse-nya, Cina dan Rusia. Kalau Indonesia bisa menjadi powerhouse nomor satunya, kenapa enggak gitu loh? Kan kita orang Indonesia juga bangga juga gitu loh. Ada orang yang dari Malaysia, orang Filipina ngelihat kita player Mobile Legends dari Indonesia, kita bangga kita Indonesia gitu loh bro. Dah terlalu bacot gua.
Kid Bomba, I would say that this is the game that he might be comfortable in playing, but at the same time he was countered as well.
Dapat tanda game 2 dah.
The way that they drafted this, they let the Faramis through and then take the signature Valentina. Then eventually they went in for the tank build with the Fredrin as well as this Tigreal to kind of man the front lines. It's a very well put out draft composition from Blacklist International.
And also looking at again the highlight player from pre-series before we even
began. Gue tiap kali mau
we
tidur
put a
tuh harus
spotlight
minum
onto the
obat
mid-lane
tidur
division.
gitu, kayak nggak natural, tidurnya nggak natural gitu, kayak kerasanya kayak apa ya, kerasanya kayak tidur sih, cuman kayak gue ngerasa kayak nggak natural aja tidurnya gitu loh, karena gue harus pakai obat anjing, tiap kali tidur minum obat, emang gue penyakitan ya, sampai harus minum obat ya. Gue kadang-kadang tuh mikir gitu sore-sore sendirian, kenapa gue nggak bisa tidur anjing, padahal tidur tuh adalah hak, atau ya itu adalah hak semua manusia, itu nggak melanggar hukum, itu adalah suatu skill atau kebolehan sebuah manusia ya kan, yang dari lahir tuh lu udah bisa lakukan gitu, tidur. Tapi sekarang gue harus pakai obat buat tidur, cok. Sedih banget.
Devu, that you felt it in the late game or the mid game stages of the game. You saw that when they jump in, yeah, they do. It was very explosive. They have the Faramis as well, but they didn't have a closing statement to their sentences, for example, or their paragraphs. They cannot close it even with the torn apart memory because of two things. First, they don't have enough damage because of their composition. Second, man, Blacklist is good at kiting. They actually avoid the torn apart memory so many times.
Yeah, again, it's become more and more popular in the past couple of months. The reverse collapse, the fade away team fight. It's happened so many times in the last quarter of MLB esports from all around the world. Looking at the damage taken, I gotta highlight Magister. Magister was maybe second or third most damage dealt for this Volt, but also he's second most damage received.
Right.
So with that said,
gak usah niat tidur Max, bakal susah kalau lu niat banget buat tidur. Oh iya bener juga, justru malah susah ya kalau niat tidur ya.
Which I guess in a way it works against normal, but against a team like Blacklist International who knows how to kite, it's better that it's better if you are able to burst them, right? But there's also a downside, obviously. This Devu lineup, it was a at least in my eyes, it was a gamble because they went it for Brody plus D'Angela. Makes a lot of sense, but going up against a team that is great at kiting, and I think that the casters pointed that so well in the particular skirmishes.
Dengerin frekuensi 432 langsung ngantuk. Frekuensi 432 itu apa?
Should have
Coba cek atau coba konsul ke psikiater, Mek. Gua udah kemarin konsulnya ke dokter saraf, ke psikiater belum.
Yeah, and again, compare that to the amount of
Tidur selamanya aja, Max, biar nggak ribet. Gua tandain lu, Wan, Gua tandain lu. Gua tandain lu, Wan. Gua tandain nama lu, ya, Wan,
good target acquisition. As soon as Blacklist makes the call,
gua baca lagi chat lu.
We're backing off.
Jahat
For this vault, it's either
mulutnya.
okay, we force the advantage, we get 1 kill and then walk away, we waste all of our ults, or we walk away, it's a wasted rotation. And that's what our casters were actually watching here in the English desk. They were saying, okay, if in the next 30 seconds there's not a kill from Deus Volt, that was a wasted approach. And as long as Blacks can waste your time, and they can find that window, Deus Volt won't even go past 20 minutes.
I completely agree with what you said. I might just reduce that 30 seconds to maybe just actually 10 seconds. That's how fast you need to kill the members of Blacklist International. The teams that have exposed weaknesses of Blacklist International kill them faster, you know?
Yeah, and again, if you're at this stage, again, a single best of 5, how fast can you learn that? Here's a quick quote from Coach Bon Chan, a SEA Games gold medalist, an MLBB world champion. All right, at first, Renegade didn't want to play utility heroes until we taught him how to properly use those heroes. Should we use tank roamers? He can also do that because that's his specialty. So this is just a little bit of an insight as to how the Hitman became the heel man, how he evolved before Blacklist eyes and now before ours.
And you can see that when he played the Matilda, I will never ever forget what he did yesterday, because he protected Oheb to the point where, as the Matilda, he's not initiating. In fact, was sitting far back so that the guiding wind will be there. When he's playing the Tigrel, he's playing a sustain. So I think that the perfect hero for Renegade, and hear me out, the Minotaur. The Minotaur has heal and catch.
I would argue it's the Matilda because it has a way to go into the back line.
That's true, yeah, all right.
Imagine that. I can't believe that if you looked at Renegade's signature heroes from the M5 World Championships, it would look very different to the way he played his career. So with that said, we're going to throw it over to our casters to get back into game number 2. Talk to us.
All right, thank you guys so much. Here we are, back on the caster desk. Trex, Mirko, LaFell. Are we ready for this?
I'm ready. I'm just glad that they agree with us.
Yeah.
So we know about it. If the panelist agrees, then we know about the game.
Exactly.
Hey, good job, man.
You call him thank you. You too, man. You too.
Far away.
No. Great job. No. Better than great job.
Well, before we get too crazy, don't forget, here comes TikTok Drops. Watch for 3 minutes, you can win 1 TikTok viewer chest. And watch for 5 minutes or more.
Oh guys, sorry ya. Ternyata selama dari kemarin donate itu gue nggak munculin guys. Padahal banyak dari kalian yang donate dan ngechat gitu loh. Gue minta maaf banget. Bahkan ada yang mau komen album, ada yang ngechat tapi gue nggak bisa baca karena gue matiin gitu loh. Lambang matanya tuh di stream gue ilangin guys, karena kemarin kan ada situs judi yang donate, jadi gue kayak aduh anjing sih ini situs kontol kan. Jadi kalian yang donate normalnya nggak gue baca tai. Minta maaf banget guys ya. Ini ada donate beberapa sih tanggal 15. Sorry ya. Tuh ada yang bilang konsep tarik nafas pelan buang pelan. Max, temen lu kenapa pada marah-marah sih? Emang nggak boleh kalau gue donasi. Tuh banyak yang donate. Max, tolong ucapin selamat ulang tahun buat istriku Punamarsari. Happy birthday Punamarsari. Nih gue bacain semua guys. Orang yang gak mau dengerin masukan gak bakal menang. GG Max, real Akai counter Faramis. Giliran lu menang koar-koar, giliran Akai kalah. Udah gue catat Lens counter Akai. Maaf waktu itu gue gak denger Max. Tuh guys, ada yang ini udah gue chat tuh, lihat kebaca gak sih? Gue gedein. Udah gue catat Lancelot counter Akai. Maaf waktu itu gue nggak denger Max, maaf ya. Gitu guys. Jadi memang ada orang yang donate-nya udah gue nyalain kok sekarang, tapi jadi kalian bebas lah kalau donate, pasti banget gue baca guys. Dan gue minta maaf sekali lagi karena kemarin gue udah matiin.
Yeah, I think despite them having like a
itu anjing.
composition wants to go for long fights, their damage dealers were bursty damage dealers, right? It was Brody and Faramis. The fact that Kid Bomba was dealing the most damage shows you that I feel the synergy was off with the composition that they had. Bomba was dealing more consistent damage, bro.
Yeah, I think Devu just needs to maybe draft something that has a couple different win conditions, not just everything into the early game.
I kind of feel like the boxer.
Oke guys, game kedua.
On that Brody. Using a Brody is
Gua nggak sering begadang bang, tapi nggak bisa tidur.
Because you can put yourself in a very tough spot. Whereas something as a you have a lot of movement.
Kita gas ya game kedua ya.
Ireland of Dawn is your canvas, you can move around.
Unless they draft something maybe with
kita gas game kedua guys. Ini lagi-lagi Akai di ban oleh Deus Vault. Ini yang dimana Akai itu direspect ban sama Deus Vault guys. Karena menurut Devu itu Akai adalah hero yang kuat lah buat Blacklist. Gue setuju juga sih.
The Juan, the Bruno, things that no matter what, even if you're roamer, even if your jungler fail, you have answers.
Bruno Valentina ini Devu kalau ngambil Faramis ke counter lagi sama Valentina coy.
Maybe Deus Vault are also overthinking themselves.
Tapi mereka tetap nge-pick Faramis ya sekarang ya.
The CC coming in from Blacklist, it would have also denied that peel with the Tigreal. That was obviously last pick, but still, Deus Vault went for the risky choice with the Angela as well.
Yeah, I kind of feel like why did Diggy
Devu harus nge-ban Tigreal sih ntar kalau nggak di-pick. Tigreal wajib di-ban.
The more important thing is that no one is stopping their engage.
Kalau nggak di-pick ya.
That's a very big difference here because if there was a Diggy, implosion is a no solution. You can just move through.
It's a no implode zone.
Implosion.
Ben nggak sih Tigreal Devu? Tadi mereka nge-pick apa ya? Tadi Blacklist itu nge-pick Tigreal sama Pakuito. Menurut gua Tigreal wajib sih. Lawannya soalnya Devu nge-pick Faramis Baxia gitu-gitu kan. Maksud gua Tigreal itu lumayan wajib sih.
It is something else, but that's
Mino
the way we like
mungkin.
to play, you know. Like
Mino.
if it's difficult, then I love it.
Lapu dulu dia tetepin Lapu. Mungkin last picknya yang last ban-nya beda kali ya. Nggak mungkin dong draft sama kayak tadi dong.
Do you think they went into the room and were just like, it wasn't the draft, we had that, we made some mistakes in game, so now we just play better.
Or it was the mistake wasn't in the first phase of draft.
Kenapa Devu nggak Nova padahal hero power?
Because again, it's coming
lawan Blacklist tuh lu nggak bisa hero power guys, lu harus hero yang emang draftnya menang. Itu bakal bikin gamenya lebih gampang lawan Blacklist. Lawan Blacklist kalau lu pakai hero power doang tapi draftnya kalah nggak bisa lah.
They were focused on a problem that did not exist. So maybe in the first game, that was the problem. They were worried about things that did not exist. So maybe this time, the damage dealers are going to do a better job. Maybe this time, Carvey is going to make sure that he doesn't do those mistakes where the mistakes is easily avoidable.
Kata bapak gua kalau susah tidur banyak minum merah putih. Kalau lu emang mau pakai obat tidur, pakai Clozapine yang 25 mg. Kalau mau tidur 3 hari yang pakai 100 mg. Gua udah ada obatnya dari dokter kok bang. Thank you udah saranin ya.
But this right here is even realer.
Thank you ya udah saranin ya.
Exactly, literally even towards the second phase ban. So nothing has changed so far.
So Paquito? Imagine the one time we say the hero.
Exactly right. That's what I'm scared of.
That's why we're not like an Arlet.
Right, Blacklist will go Paquito. Let's see if the curse works. I don't know if you wanna.
Draftnya sama anjing.
Oh wow, alright.
Draftnya sama dikira. Astaga Devu. Keras kepala kan. Atau mereka ngambil Tigreal sekarang bukan Angela guys. Tigreal sama Brody. Bisa nggak? Tigreal Brody.
Is it a BA? Is it a Brody Angela?
A BA or an AB
or a Diggy?
A BD.
Nah, kalau mereka Brody Angela sih.
Okay.
Draftnya sama tai.
Angela, we've got it. One more. Will it be the?
I think pick up like a.
Draftnya sama kan anjing.
Yeah, I'm okay with the Beatrix.
Something else.
Consistent damage. I like it, right? If it's not the Beatrix, what do they want to go for?
Tigrealnya bebas dong ntar dong.
Do they want to go for something like a?
Gue nggak paham ya kenapa draftnya sama ya. Apakah ini Geek Fam 2.0? Yang waktu itu nge-pick Joy terus? Anjing, draftnya sama anjing.
It would be great, right?
Are they downloading?
We don't have.
Tapi draftnya sebenarnya nggak kalah-kalah banget sih. Tapi
So it's a
Tigreal
Brody,
ya,
and now Renegade's like, wait,
Renegade tinggal Tigreal lagi dong. Tigreal enak banget
Are we
lawan
still in
Brody,
game
Baxia.
Was game one so fun that we just,
Bro,
have to repeat
kalau
it?
Tigreal lagi sih udah sih.
This is game 1.
Estes, beda loh.
Alright,
Beda. Mereka pick Estes.
Alright.
Gue lebih suka Tigreal ya, sumpah.
Thank you, Renegade. Thank you, MTB, for changing something in the draft. I was gonna go crazy.
But either way, I would say the strategy does not change because Renegade just now, I would say a lot of the engages did come from the Fredrin, so it doesn't have to come from Renegade anymore. He can just help the team Kai because that's what Devu want to do. They want to dive.
All right. Everybody, let's jump into the land
Oke
of
guys,
dawn.
game
It's
kedua
game number 2.
dengan draft yang sama
International
ya.
looking
Ini yang
for
beda cuma
match
di
point.
Estes ya doang. Jadi
There's a Volt
Estes
here
ngegantiin
with the
Tigreal
same
guys.
exact draft.
Beda di
Now against
satu
the
hero dong.
Estes, does it work better for their dynamic going up against an Estes instead of a Tigreal, Lafel?
I would say not really. Because
Bosan hero heal
not
terus.
just the Estes having that heal, but having that slow as well.
Oke
Look at
guys,
the dashes
game
coming in
kedua.
from Deus Volt.
Deus
Is
Volt
there
draftnya
really? 'Cause I'm
sama.
not seeing a lot of dashes coming in from
Deus
them,
Volt
so
draftnya
the
sama.
slow coming in from the Estes
Blacklist
is
cuman
gonna
beda
be a
Estes doang.
big
Max
impact.
lu gak
But
kenikan
now they're
Sally
going to
Boy
be even
enggak.
clumping it. They're going to be clumping
Karena
up
nggak ada
even
yang
more,
temen
right?
gua nggak ada yang kesana. Maksud gue,
When it's Renegade on the
Gua
Estes,
kenal
it's
sama
always
siapa, guys?
the F.
maksudnya bukan kenal sama siapa ya.
One
Maksudnya
more thing.
What?
ya gua
It's not just
gua takut sendiri.
the blessing of the moon goddess, Netherrealm as well.
Oh, yeah,
Brad.
they have the whole package
Exactly.
So Sunset Lover's got to do a lot of housekeeping to
Goat
keep that
Antimage.
away from
Mending
UA.
Selena
If
support
Deus Volt
apa mid?
want to win
Support.
the fight, they have to have
Selena
this
mid
mentality
udah nggak
that
bisa.
we're gonna kill them tomorrow.
Bisa tapi
Right,
menurut
the
gua
next
bagusan
day.
support.
now. And the next day.
procrastination.
It's kind of like
Kita
the
lihat.
draft. It's just going to repeat itself over and over and over. Deus Volt, do they want to push the envelope?
Mereka
even
tapi
more
pick
aggressively?
Estes
Let's take
padahal
a
ada
look at some of the
Baxia
envelopes.
guys ya. Gua kayak bingung juga sih. Lebih enak di Devu nggak sih? Kalau kayak gini, gimana menurut kalian?
Not a lot of changes from Deus Volt in terms of
Bukan nggak kenal Fonzi, maksudnya di sana nggak ada temen yang gue bisa ngobrol terus gitu loh. Pasti kayak ngobrol sebentar, semenit udah duduk ke tempat masing-masing kayak
If they're going to really just invest into
gimana
this,
ya?
just try to go
Nggak ada yang
even harder
quote
than
joke,
last time.
lover,
Just
Mas
try to
Paldi,
be
satu
even
pun
more
nggak ada gitu loh.
aggressive and really just try to
Gua nggak
push
pede, guys.
Blacklist into
Ya,
a
coachnya juga
corner.
nggak datang.
So overload them, and I not gonna lie, I do kind of agree, but again, they gotta figure out a way
Temen
to
gua dikit di
isolate
sport,
Blacklist
nggak
International.
banyak.
But that's the thing. Blacklist International, they don't get isolated. They make sure whenever they're moving together. Even Edward, where theoretically he's gonna be the one soloing a lane, all of a sudden, either Sensui is nearby, UA, and right now even Renegade is gonna get close.
Wow. A lot of emphasis around this bottom side. Blacklist International want to clear it. They do it just with one splash of damage. Yue takes away that Netherrealm. Just what we mentioned. And Blacklist International, once again, just like in game one, our first onto the turtle. Edward already zoning Magister, poking him down, getting him to half with a knockout strike as well. Magister might not be able to even contest for this.
Gua udah
Has
kasih
to
ini
reach it, pops it
amplopnya
in,
juga
shielding it
tuh.
onto Edward with the penalty zone onto
Nanti
the
lagi
back line.
perang dulu.
Another round from both teams. The blessing of the moon goddess as
Kita
well.
lihat.
Yue. Netherrealm HP gonna be gone. Edward.
Gila,
with the
ini
knockout
Baxia
strike
nggak
on
bakal
Sunset
mati
Lover.
sih.
Dealing a lot of damage still.
Aduh,
Magister
tak
losing
dapet
out
retrinya.
in the retribution battle. The Sensui. The
Baxia sekarang mati dong. Tapi rata nggak sih? Yue mati juga nih. Dua tuker satu, guys.
Of Sunset Lover to make it kind of worth it for
Oh.
Deus Volt.
Yeah,
Boy,
honestly, in
diundang.
the end of things, Magister does go down. It's not good to lose your jungler, and they also
Oke, kita
lose the
lihat.
turtle. But you find Yue and Edward, two of the huge damage
Bukannya
dealers,
Teris counter Estes
especially
Mac.
when it comes to the
Teris
mid-game
lumayan
spike.
enak sih lawan
I would say
Estes,
just
tapi nggak
Matt
counter
was
banget.
on Bombo as well,
Kalau
Sunset
counter
Lover,
banget
man,
tuh
like,
Akai ketemu Faramis.
doing a lot of damage and actually controlling Blacklist
Faramis
International. I feel like
ulti
Sunset
ya kan,
Lover with the,
nyelamatin
the
temen-temennya,
first
Akainya
skill
muter gitu.
was
Jadi
able
kayak
to
Faramisnya nggak bisa
intercept
nyelamatin
their
temennya.
so that Blacklist
Dipisahin
International
gitu loh.
can
Karena kan
do as much
Faramis kan
damage as they
hero
wanted
yang
to.
mengharuskan lu kumpul. Tapi Akai itu hero yang bikin lu nggak ngumpul gitu loh. Mungkin kalau Tigreal, mungkin kalau Kufra, Atlas, mungkin itu justru susah lawan Faramis. Karena kan dia kalau ngestun bikin musuhnya ngumpul kan. Kalau Akai kan bikinnya bukan bikin ngumpul, tapi bikin misah. Beda dong. Atlas, Kufra bikin ngumpul.
Magister shield
Kita lihat.
onto Yue. Sunset Lover trying
Baxianya
to deal some
di
damage around the back, but
ini
Magister
nama-
stunned up right now. Goes on to Sensui who dashes out.
Aduh, nggak ada
That's
yang
another
mati
round
lagi ya.
baited out from Deus Volt. And Blacklist International decides to
Sebenarnya Deosvolt
disengage
early
with
game-nya
the help
kuat
of
sih.
Renege's Blessing of the Moon Goddess.
I feel
Baxi
that
Angela
engage
tuh
was
early
a
game-nya
little
kuat
bit
banget
too
guys, serius.
early. I kinda feel like
Late
going
game
for-
juga kuat ya, lawannya
going in
Bruno
when
lagi.
it's around 7 or 8 seconds
Sebenarnya
when
kalau duit
Turtle is about to
kalau
spawn,
mainnya bener sih
could give you
bisa.
a better lead
Kalau
because
kalian ingat
you're gonna make sure
waktu itu
that
tim
their
Dewa
engage
pernah
is
pakai
jump
Baxia
down,
sama
but I don't
Angela
know,
juga
going
di
up against this
MPL kan.
Estes, even when you're doing something right, it feels like you're doing something wrong because
Lawan
even when
Bruno.
you get to trade, the trade becomes invisible because he just heals back up.
Looks like they may be going for the lane swap here. Around the 4.5 minute mark, Kid Bomba gonna move to the top side along with Edward
Okay.
Turtle. Spawning
Pelan-pelan.
up. So
Tarik.
they've been a little bit aggressive. They're still falling behind in gold so far.
Duitnya beda
Can they
500
take this
guys. Ini nggak terlalu ngaruh
Damage
nih
in the
buat
mid lane
perang
onto
kali ini.
Hewitt, taking him to half HP, but he goes in to
Edward.
terrify them instead. Edward doing a good job at jabbing Magister, poking him down. Meanwhile, Bomba's
sekarat
more
dong
concerned
Baxianya
with
dong.
the waves.
Wah, retrinya kepake dong nih.
Time, it shouldn't be too much.
Ya, kepake retrinya guys. Udah
Can they
deh.
go for the steal?
He retreat that. Edward force a flicker out.
Wah, perang.
Oh,
Oke,
that
oke.
penalty zone
Deosvolt mau
by
perang
Kid
nih.
Bomba, but
Mereka
Sensui
nggak
still
peduli
finds the
sama.
turtle. That was a blessing of the Moon Goddess with Renegade.
Wah, rugi banget anjing. Nggak ada. Gas. Edward mati untung. Edward mati untung. Ayo dong. Nah, dua tuker turtle ya.
Let me just
Untung
say,
nggak
if you wanna give
Kokomex.
an MVP, man, look at Sunset
Kalau dapat mid
Lover.
lane untung.
The Shadow Stampedes.
Ini nggak ada yang hit to red
Again,
anjing.
we're talking about you gotta figure out a way how to make sure that Blacklist International
Ya, aduh
look at
Teddy
Kimaba.
sebelahnya
Bomba's
mati dah.
caught under the turret, now caught under the Appraiser's wrath. Sensui takes him out.
Rugi.
As I was saying,
Kalau
this
kalau
goal,
kayak gini
they
rugi.
find the
Tadi kalau
answer.
mereka dapat mid lane sih untung sih.
Time when Blacklist International wants to kite away, when they want to move
Nggak
back,
jadi untung,
at that
Cok.
moment, press again the Shadow Stampede to interrupt their movement. So I kind of feel like for Deosvolt, Sunset Lover is
Nggak
the
jadi
key.
untung.
He's the disruptor.
Malah
He
rugi,
is
iya
the
malah rugi
enabler
guys.
for their
Malah
team.
sedikit
He's a
bombanya
player
maksa
that
deh.
has gone very,
Terlalu sangean.
you know, just not as known in the beginning of M5, but so far in the knockout
Padahal
stage,
udah
he has been
ngeliat
turning
Big
up.
Fam sangean kalah kan.
2v4.
Orang-orang
That
sange
could've
itu
been
pasti
deadly
kalah
there.
guys.
Magister goes in, taunted out Appraiser's wrath.
Orang-orang yang nggak
Once
bisa
again,
tahan
the
nafsu
Magister
itu
still is
bakal
able to
terpuruk
survive.
nasibnya.
Torn apart memory just to poke Blacklist down, and Blacklist will just take
Motivasi seorang
another
Antimage.
structure. Well, the first structure of this game in the bottom lane.
All right, Deosvolt now behind 1K gold. I feel like they have
Valentina
to,
first-
I think they kinda
first
just have to
item
step
and
up their
OD
macro
ya.
a bit, but Yue
Taken low.
should be able to get away there. Let's take a look at these items.
Honestly, one notable thing is just that for this time, Kid Bomba doesn't have the Fury Hammer, so he shouldn't be able to do as
Kita
much
lihat.
damage as before. So that may be the adjustment, going straight for defense instead of delaying it for a little bit of offense. So it's an interesting change. We do have to see if it will work out.
Blacklist win 3-0. Aduh, jangan sampai deh guys. Gue berharapnya 3-1, 3-2 bisa lah ya. 3-1 lah. At least 3-1 sih guys. Jangan sampai kebantai banget gitu. Kalau bisa. Karena ini Deus kalau menang lawan Blacklist bakal seru banget. Bayangin aja guys, tiga negara bertarung. Aduh, kalian bayangin gak sih kalau Blacklist menang tuh? Harapan kita Onyx anjing 1 biji. Brodinya mati lagi.
Was Sawo cancelled? No, it was a complete miscalculation, and Blacklist capitalized.
That's one of those moments
Wah,
where you feel
Blacklist
hurt,
sih.
man. You have two ways.
Edwardnya buang-buang waktu doang, cok. Nggak mati-mati Edward.
Yeah, definitely a big
Edward dari tadi tuh tugasnya cuman bikin musuh tuh ngebunuh dia, tapi dianya nggak mati gitu, buang-buang waktu guys. Pakuitonya Edward sangat-sangat berdampak ya di game ini ya. Walaupun lawan hero-hero
The
tank.
saddest thing, Sunset Level was there. He had the Nether Realm, but I feel like the call was save the Nether
Susah loh
Realm
main Pakuito
for
di
the
sini
bigger
loh.
fight.
Yeah, just use a hard
Tapi dia
guard.
ngerti
Sawo's
caranya.
like, wait, are you gonna use it? Appraiser's wrath on the Sawo, just to zone him away mid lane. Magister trying to hold down the tier 1, but still gonna be taken down by
Jago.
Blacklist
Edward.
International.
Kalau di team fight emang susah main Pakuito, tapi dia ngerti di team fight gue bakal kena stun sama Terizla, kena stun sama Brody. Mendingan gue main side lane, gue main makro, ngebuang-buang waktu musuh. Jadi musuh ngebunuh gue tapi gue nya nggak mati. Temen-temen gue bisa dapet turret kiri, kanan, atas, bawah. Itu adalah itu butuh makro yang tinggi sih buat bisa kayak gitu sih.
We've seen them turn the tables before. We've seen them able to do things that many teams aren't able to. But is this going to be the end of their road? It's game number 2 right now. Devu sitting in a
Kalau gue lebih milih Blacklist menang aja, kalau sampai kalah berarti Gig masih di bawah Deus. Gue udah bukan masalah kayak gitunya sih Bang Ahmad. Gue intinya nggak mau 2 Filipin 1 Indo nanti. Ada small chance nanti misalkan Onyx terpuruk, itu ada sedikit kesempatan buat grand finalnya Filipin dan itu gue nggak suka. Ayo Devu, please, menangkan game ini. Duitnya beda 4.000 guys. Harusnya juara tetap Onyx ya. Ini Onyx brand bakal jadi Hashirama versus Madara sih. Bakal menjadi suatu legend nih, legenda. Kalau di Naruto tuh legendnya itu adalah Madara lawan Hashirama. Wih, Terizlanya. Wah, S-testnya ngeri banget, guys. Waduh, Deus Vault kekurangan damage nih. Damage mereka Brody doang anjing lawan S-test.
Not only did Blacklist win out on that fight, but they walked out of that fight with full health.
Ini gamenya lebih susah dari game tadi sih.
Deus Vault unable to even chip into the heel.
Ternyata Tigreal ternyata Estes lebih baik daripada Tigreal ya.
Blacklist, Deus Vault aren't going to be able to last much longer if this is how fights keep going.
I don't want to be a party pooper, man, but at this point I feel like Blacklist International, they need to receive damage from the crystal for them to die.
Yeah.
I feel like the turrets have to chip in.
They really do, Lafel. I think if the turrets don't chip in, Deus will just simply don't have enough damage to melt down these HP bars. If it was bad earlier in game number 1 against the Tigreal, now put an Estes in and we got the answer we were looking for.
Dude, this is one of those comps where you just want to go to the next game.
Onyx kapan main? Jam 2 Onyx main kok. Sabar ya guys. 3 jam lagi Onyx main, 3 jam. Thank you someone Max, cara bocorin Tamus build tank apaan? Tamus build tank, lu coba search aja guys, Tamus Antimage, pasti keluar kok. Pasti keluar.
It's been 4 to 5 kills. It's a low kill count game. It's just because Blacklist International, there's never a point they have to force it. They do enough damage where this will have to disengage.
This is macro dominance. Kid Bamba poked down. One more shot. Oheb again. Even with the DPZ, it isn't enough to get away from the Filipino sniper.
That could be it. Blacklist International going to start chipping away at these towers right here. Deus Vault need an answer. They need something to get out of this heel hell that they're in right now. Blacklist International is trying to close things up.
What is the answer?
No, let me just say, Oheb took a lot of turret shots.
And he still didn't die.
You know
why?
Renegade.
The heel man.
The heel man with the Hosqua?
Kok lu nggak semangat? Gimana gue semangat kalau Blacklist menang? Gue semangatnya kalau Deus Vault menang dan Onyx menang. Sabar, ini kenapa nggak ada suara ya browser gue ya? Donet gue nggak ada suara guys, bentar.
You know what? I'm just gonna rely on Renegade to heal me back up.
10.000 dari ini hanya
Oke. Aman guys, sudah ada suara ya.
They always come out on top. At this point, it doesn't seem like there's an answer for Deus Vault. Kid Bamba went for the more defensive build in the beginning. Carvey is still 0-1. I mean, nobody on the team can really do any damage to them.
Because the answer is, you want to outlast the Netherrealm and outlast the Blessing of the Moon Goddess. But let's be realistic. Can you? Right? Unless Kid Bomba dives in completely.
Guys, start coba kalian donate lagi ya, gue mau lihat masuk ke suaranya. Channel hiburan shorts apa tuh? Halo. Harusnya Cloud nggak sih dari game awal tadi? Siapa si Deus Vault guys? Nggak ngaruh sih ini. Ini Blacklist emang jago guys. Bisa nggak ya Deus Vault, tapi kemarin kalah 2-0 habis itu comeback jadi 3-2 sih. Nggak menutup kemungkinan buat Deus Vault bisa comeback 3-2 juga kan. nggak ada yang tahu guys. Deus Vault ini adalah underdog. Jadi menurut gua kekalahan 2-0 bisa jadi 3-2 seperti si Yusun kemarin. Semoga. Kalau game ini comeback menurut gua udah nggak mungkin. Nggak ada hero clear lane, damage-nya kalah. Udah GG game ini menurut gua. Susah. Susah. Tuh, lu lihat gimana menangnya, Cok. Gua nggak ngasal kalau nganalis, nggak ngasal loh. GG. Game 3. Nggak ada Cinderella story ya di game 2 ya. Udah kalah gitu aja. Susah banget. Susah banget guys lawan Blacklist. Gimana ya? Gimana cara Devu menang ya? Kayak susah banget gitu loh. Blacklist menang di segala aspek anjing.
And the Hitman.
He's the nicest hitman I've ever seen.
Lu jangan sampai dah.
He's the only hitman I've ever seen.
Dari Kuga. Pesan dari sudut pandang EX Galaner menurut refleksi sama Boots bagusan mana Max?
Bagusan. Dua-duanya sama-sama bagus sih. Cuma Boots jago di team fight.
10.000 dari Dewantara Surya. Pas brand vs Blacklist di playoff Empel S12 brand kebanyakan nyelenit hero tanya Sensui.
Iya mungkin itu bisa jadi apa namanya, bisa jadi acuan lah untuk hero band itu, hero ngeband tank. Karena setahu gua Blacklist Oni kemarin juga hero tank di band kan.
Dari Samuan, pesan prediksi lu RRQ season depan.
Prediksi lu RRQ season depan: Versik out, Rainbow out, Sin out. Yang tersisa player lama, Clay out, Clay 50%. Menurut gua masih Skillar pasti.
10.000 dari Samuan, pesan Max makin kesini lu gewe lihat-lihat gak semangat ngelakuin apa-apa kayak capek banget kelihatannya.
Enggak kok guys, emang gua kurang tidur aja sih. Maaf ya kalau emang gua kelihatannya kayak kurang semangat, tapi ya gue semangat kok. Cuman emang gue kayak kurang tidur gitu guys. Ntar gue bakal hari ini abis live gue coba tidur sih. Gue gak akan main-main HP coli. Gak, pokoknya gue akan coba tidur lah. Semoga doain juga lah guys, kalau bisa kalian doain biar gue bisa tidur. Susah tidur, susah banget gue tidur anjing. Tai emang. Tidur aja susah, Cok. Kita coba main brawl dulu kali ya. Sambil nunggu kali, bisa sih. Coba ya kita main brawl ya. Sambil nunggu ya game 3 ya. Oke ya. Enakan yang lower istirahatnya lama Max. Tidur itu sahabat kematian, mending jangan. Guys, kita mabar dulu nggak? Mabar lagi apa namanya? Main dulu nggak sih? Brawl dulu ya. Ambil nunggu game 3, brawl dulu dah. Boleh lah kita brawl dulu daripada bosan nungguin ya kan. Apalagi gue sendiri gak ada yang bisa diajak ngobrol anjing. Duo kok, ini siapa Hani? Oh, ini siapa? Siapa ini? Oh, siapa ini guys? Oh yeah. Udah. Dibalas.
10.000 dari Samuan, pesan Max tanggal 14 Februari tahun 2023, pilih siapa?
Ada dong. Adik JD, brawl dulu kita bilang. Mau brawl dulu. Gak bisa kasih gituan ya? Alright, kita gas brawl guys ya. Cobalah. Gua win rate brawl gua sih bener-bener win rate brawl gua sih tinggi banget coy. Super tinggi win rate brawl gua guys. Gua serius ini gua ngomong ini. Nggak main-main, nggak bercanda. Gede banget win rate brawl gua. Kita buktiin ya. Wah, hero-nya sih. Yusansin bisa nggak guys? Yusansin atau Loi ya? Aduh, gue malas main Loi sih. Wah, Natalia tai. Untung diamond gue banyak anjing. Bisa gue spin terus. Mampus lu semua. Hah? Mampus. Gue spin 50 diamond, gue spin. Gue spin lagi. Bodoh amat sampai dapat hero bagus anjing. Tai, kemahalan. Gue udah buang berapa diamond itu tai.
Mereka memanggilku seorang pahlawan karena aku menyelamatkan negaraku dari kehancuran.
Aman ya.
Mereka memanggilku seorang pahlawan.
Dikira diamond gua unlimited. Anjing emang nih. Udahlah Yusansin aja gue bilang guys. Dikira diamond gua unlimited anjing. Diamond gua unlimited juga rugi gua nge-spin cok. Buat main game doang. Apa sih kalian kenapa pakai emot gituan anjing? Ya ampun. Pantes win rate tinggi pay to win. Kenapa kalian pakai emot gituan, Cok? Apa? Emot apa itu?
10.000 dari Rasul Gold.
Max ada niat nyoba mukbang bareng Dede.
Nyoba mukbang bareng Dede Inon.
Ada sih, cuman gue nggak tahu apakah dia mau mukbang sama gue karena gue mukbangnya normal, dia kan mukbangnya abnormal kan. Kecoa juga dimakan, ngeri banget gue. Udah lah guys, kalian stop lah kasih emot kayak gitu tai.
5 seconds till the enemy reaches the battlefield. Smash them. All troops deployed.
Aku pergi kemanapun aku membawa.
Wah udah salah gue. Ya ampun. Nggak fokus cok. Wah kalian sih kurang ajar sih. Ini gara-gara kalian gue nggak fokus nih anjing. Kita dapat ginian.
Tetap setia, tetap rendah hati.
Bagus nggak sih Samson guys? Sebenarnya
hanya dengan menghadapi lawan kita dapat mengenal diri kita sendiri.
Samson jelek ya di brawl ya.
Kita akan menang kelak.
Gile bos.
Tanggung jawab.
Gile.
Pasukan yang baik dapat menyesuaikan diri dengan keadaan. Seperti layaknya air.
Gue udah execute nih, tendang. Ya ampun cowoknya kayak begitu.
Reputasiku dibangun atas dasar keberanian dan kesetiaan.
Ini warna-warna bisa buat smash sih atau kagurannya.
Kita bisa memprediksi pergerakan musuh.
Gak mati tai. Aslo penting sih. Anjing gak mati dong.
Reputasiku dibangun atas dasar keberanian dan kesetiaan. Jika kita bisa memprediksi pergerakan musuh, kita tidak akan
banget kok. Sumpah sakit banget. Wah Wah, nggak masuk akal damage-nya. Ini groknya bikin damage ya guys ya. Bikin damage ini groknya atau gimana? Belum draft kok, belum draft. Aman guys, gua sambil ngeliat. Kalau udah draft gue pindahin, aman aja guys.
Pasukan yang baik dapat menyesuaikan diri dengan keadaan, seperti layaknya air.
Lu lihat combo gue nih.
Aku pergi kemanapun angin membawa.
Iyo, itu dia high mekanik banget itu ya. Kill, triple kill by Antimage, triple kill.
Hanya dengan menghadapi lawan, kita dapat mengenal diri kita sendiri. Tembakan hujan api! Tanggung jawab, kehormatan, dan tanah air.
Salah gua!
Kita akan menang telak!
Unstoppable. 2 menit.
Tetap setia, tetap rendah hati.
Double kill.
Seorang petarung sejati tidak
Dari
pernah
Chris,
mundur.
pesan Max saran Devu, kalau kita bisa tidur lu MOG aja Max antar Jove langsung
Nice.
itu.
Saran kalau nggak bisa tidur lu ngok.
Team destroyed a turret.
Saran lu sih bikin gue dosa sih bang, dan gue udah jangan sih. Saran lu sih bikin gue terjerumus ke dalam dosa ya.
Ally has been slain.
Gue udah jadi Haskell sih, paling di HS kali ya. Bikin apa sih guys, biasa tuh di HS kan harusnya kan. Di HS, Endless Battle.
Kita akan
apa Haskell nggak usah ya?
An enemy has been slain.
Kayaknya mendingan Endless Battle dah.
Tembakan hujan api.
You have slain an enemy. Double kill.
Apa ini gua nih?
Seorang petarung sejati tidak pernah mundur dari pertarungan.
Triple kill.
Ini maniak bos. Ngeri banget coy.
Tanggung jawab, kehormatan, dan tanah air.
Bikin tank ya?
Hanya dengan menghadapi lawan, kita dapat menang.
Anjing lah gua nggak dapet efek.
Initiate retreat.
Woo!
Victory.
Victory! Yo, ingat sih guys. Udah ini 20 detik lagi udah mulai. 20 detik guys, nggak sempet.
Oh! 12 seconds. 12 seconds.
Ini kalau 3-0 sih gue sempet nge-gym sih.
12
Gua
seconds.
jujur-jujuran aja nih.
Oh.
Kayak.
Gua udah siapin obat gua. Ini bukan narkoba ya, kontol.
Yes sir, let's go.
Ini obat kreatin. Kreatin yang biasanya diminum di bubuk, gua minum di pil. Biar makin kuat gua pas nge-gym. Ini orang ngapain anjing?
Oh, there you go. Congrats.
Itu orang ngapain? Teriak-teriak kayak begitu.
They signed the shirt signed of course by all our members. There you go.
Thank you.
there you go.
Itu orang ngapain, cowok?
Yes, but you're not gonna go in.
I just want to add.
Yes.
Itu mereka ngapain anjing?
Kid Bomba pag uwi ka na sa amin.
He said
Sorry, yes.
her niece is a fan of Kid Bomba.
You want to take Kid
if
Bomba
you
home?
win, go home with them.
He needs a playmate.
Okay.
He's a playmate, all right.
Oh, okay.
But
It's a nephew. It's a nephew.
You're not gonna go home empty-handed. We also have a prize for you later on today, but there you have it, all right?
Thank you so
Sumpah,
much for joining
ini kalau
us
3-0 gue langsung gym, langsung gue nyetir kayak orang gila guys ya.
Thank you so much
Kalau
to the
3-0,
crowd.
kalau
And
enggak ya
now,
nggak
let's head
sempet.
back to the game
Sesimpel
with our
itu.
very own talents.
Nggak apa-apa win Blacklist Max biar ntar jumpa AP Brand kalau Onyx win. Bisa juga sih. Bisa juga sih.
Prepare yourselves for the next game because this is a match point for Blacklist International. Everything on the line for Deus Volt.
Blacklist International.
Here is yesterday, Deus Volt had to take 2 losses before they could try to go for the reverse sweep.
For some reason, they always need a warm-up, right? Like, even in the group stages as well, they have to lose 1 before getting 1. So, now against Blacklist International, that certainly is what can happen, but will it happen?
The Bomba mentality.
10.000 dari Malaikat Explain. Pesan, emang paling enak ya emok dulu sebelum tidur.
Not everything uses a battery. Not everything uses.
Emang paling enak emgo sebelum tidur. Gue nggak ngerti lo mau ngomong apaan bang.
Is what?
Doubt. When people doubt them, then they rise.
You know, so Goku has the energy ball, he has the doubt ball.
No, D-O-U-B-T, doubt.
Speaking of success and not doubt, Devu's keys to success. In our previous M-Series runs, we were more like a mix of 5 players individually. This time, we feel more like not only a team, but a family.
A big Bomba family. They already have the kid, now it's the rest. Needs to change the Bomba.
Not gonna lie. Whenever I'm going for a job interview and they're saying they're like a family, big red flag.
Why?
I don't know, man. Something about him saying we're like a family. It's Listen, kid. I've worked in the real world. Trax, you've worked in the real world.
Yes, Mirko hasn't.
I'm 21, man.
Dude, let me. Family, man, family.
Family. Must be cool.
Oh.
Hey, dab it up, dab it up, dab it up.
We're getting real dark here,
cool,
bro.
What?
Must be cool.
Oh. If you know, you know. You know,
what?
if you know, you know.
I'm gonna dab myself up. Shout outs to family. And shout outs to mental health. Now, going into the game here, you know what's. Even though I'm down, I want to see some drops. I want to see some TikTok drops.
Some TikTok drops. Well, here comes TikTok drops. Watch for 3 minutes. You can win 1 TikTok viewer chess. And watch for 5 minutes or more, and you can win TikTok.
Oke guys, game ketiga. Kita lihat apakah ini akan menjadi game terakhir atau masih ada game selanjutnya ya. Ini menurut gua game penting sih.
Yeah, 2.
Nyawa terakhir dari perwakilan ECCA. Perwakilan terakhir dari Uni Soviet atau bisa dibilang juga perwakilan terakhir Rusia ini ya.
So y'all are getting Riz.
We got the Riz.
So far, Deus Volt
Bikin baju Max versus everybody.
the Riz.
Laku
2
nggak
games
ntar?
in a row.
Kalian
But he
beli
lost
nggak?
on it.
Maybe now they need
What
the
you call
songs.
the Riz?
The Rizla.
Oh, they've had the Rizla.
The Rizla, man.
So it's the time to switch it up.
Maybe they need the
who-
song.
At this point, you gotta.
The what?
The song.
The song?
The U song.
The song. The
Oh,
the song.
M5 U
What
song.
do you hear?
They need the song.
I don't know what song. Okay.
They need the 15-year-old.
The Diggy.
The Diggy.
The
Diggy is
right.
15-year-old?
Yeah. The Diggy is
Well,
15-year. But
let's jump into the draft to see if that can.
Badah, Yuzongnya sih.
Devu up
Yuzo-
against the wall right
Yuzongnya
now.
kayak
Match point
kepiting,
for
Cok.
Blacklist.
Tangannya kayak kepiting
They
anjing.
definitely need to switch something up. The same
Lucu.
draft better not come out of Devu's hands, or else I'm going to be silent the whole game.
it might happen. I'm just saying it might happen. But Wolf said minor changes can work, right? The fact that they kept everything literally the same. At least for Blacklist.
Oke guys, let's go. Game ketiga. Apakah akan menjadi akhir dari segalanya atau awal kemulaan kebangkitan tim dari Devu? Oke. Knockout match. Kita lihat Matilda 1-1 sudah di ban. Nolan Joy di ban.
right?
Oke, Faramis di ban, fair enough. Apakah Devu bakal nge-ban Estes? Atau ban Akai? Kayaknya Akai tetap harus di ban sih. Atau nggak diambil? Akai penting sih. Akai, Estes, Bruno itu 3 hero signature menurut gua. 3 hero signature dari Blacklist. Bruno jangan lupa ya. Bruno, Akai, Estes 3. Dari yang gua lihat selama ini itu adalah 3 hero kemenangan mereka. Apakah akan di-ban salah satu atau dibiarin dan diambil nanti 2 bijinya sama Devu?
So now there's, I don't know, in my head, whenever you're doing the draft, it is a mind game. And I kind of feel like banning out this Faramis is putting Deus Volt in a situation that they will be very
Oke, mereka ban Gunifer, gue lupa ya Gunifer belum di-ban anjing.
They got a lot of things open here. And I kind of feel like if Deus Volt picks up the Bruno with... Wait,
banyak
Matilda is
yang
open as
kebuka
well.
sih di game ini.
Oh wait, sorry, Matilda's banned. So picking up the Valentina and then Deus Volt picking up something like the Bruno, maybe even the Terizla.
Banyak yang kebuka sih guys di game ini guys.
Like Blacklist International, they're controlling the draft just with the bans.
Bruno bisa jadi first pick.
The way that the bans have been going recently, I think it's a great choice for Devu to move over to the red side.
Bruno bisa jadi first pick.
They can get the Bruno
Valentina, oke, menarik. Valentina di pick ya, walaupun tidak ada Faramis guys. Soalnya lawan Lilia tuh Valentina juga bagus. Jadi
Devu here. So are we thinking Bruno up front, maybe
apa?
Bruno with Basha once again?
I think it has to be Bruno, right? Either way, whatever they
Bruno kayaknya wajib sih ya.
Ya
nggak sih guys?
Or even heck, maybe even Lilia for Sunset Lover. The Bruno is necessary for them to get.
Gue setuju casternya nih, Bruno diambil sih.
The only thing is I feel like they should delay their mid lane pick for now just because
10.000 dari Samuan. Pesan Max barangkali mau investasi seumur hidup tambang batu kisaran 2 meteran beb 1 ton sisanya bro.
Gimana tuh caranya tuh? Lilia anjing. Ya Lilia sih Lilia, tapi Bruno-nya kenapa nggak di-pick duluan ya? Maxhill Lilia.
Unless the third pick is the
Blacklist sih 1-1 sih OP sih.
Oh,
nggak bisa guys. Blacklist mau 1-1, Devu bisa pick Poveus nanti. Tapi 1-1 di sini bagus lawan Lilia sama Baxia. Kemungkinan Blacklist ngambil Cloud itu ada. Cloud, Bruno 1-1. Kalau 1-1 itu maksa karena Devu bisa. Oke, Fredrin. Dia pick marksman-nya nanti. Pinter banget. Karena kalau lu ngambil 1-1, musuh langsung counter pakai Poveus. Lu ambil Cloud, musuh counter pakai Arlot.
Dari Malaikat Explain, pesan menurut lu Max Onyx KG sama Onyx sekarang jagoan mana?
Sekarang jagoan sekarang, karena sekarang kan mereka masih up to date. Kalau dulu jagoan gua lah, jagoan kita. Mereka pintar guys, ini gue jelasin ya. Kalau lu tadi nge-pick Cloud, Devu langsung Arlot. Lu pick 1-1, Devu langsung apa tadi namanya? Poveus. Pick paling aman itu Bruno. Cuman mereka nggak mau pick Bruno duluan. Draftnya mereka coba mainin ini di Blacklist.
I mean, definitely a possibility.
1-1 di ban ya?
I like the idea of they know that there's
mata gua nggak lihat
anjing.
Pasif Evos buta map emang ya. Kalau gitu kenapa nggak ngambil Cloud duluan ya? Cloud bagus loh. Ada Arlot. Bruno sih berarti sih. Devu ban Bruno nggak sih? Devu ban Bruno nggak sih? Ini Brody masih bisa diatasin sama Lilia sama Ixia. Kalau Bruno kayaknya rada susah sih.
It's a moving wall.
It is a moving
Bruno Brody.
That's very scary.
It's a floating moving. It's a flying wall.
I once in my life I saw a wall moving towards me.
Bruno Brody apa kira-kira yang di ban? Atau mereka ban offlanernya ya? Pakuito gitu. Pakuito kayak bagus deh.
Okay, now I see it.
Huh?
No.
Gimana guys?
I wasn't driving.
No, but so far for Carvey and for Oheb, it's been the Bruno that's, you know, been the most successful, or maybe not for Carvey, but most used hero.
Lapu di ban anjing. Angin tidak punya KTP. Ini kenapa Devu takut banget sama Lapu ya? Max, gue lihat Kid Bomba ada bilang cara kalahin Blacklist dengan pakai badang worth it nggak?
So why not try again? If Blacklist love
Gue nggak
the
pernah
Bruno so much,
percaya badan
OHEB
itu bisa
got
dipakai di
2
turnamen
MVPs back
sih.
to back on the Bruno.
Kecuali zaman
So what
dulu
do we
ya.
think about Devu
Sama
maybe
waktu itu
picking up
Singapura
Tigreal or
pakai.
picking up something a bit more aggressive for their roam here, Lafel?
Bukan
Actually,
hero
just
yang
looking at the Bruno here, I know you asked a question, but
bukan hero kemenangan
I
sih itu.
Sunset Lover a goalkeeper. Looks like OHEB the better striker, man.
Yeah, the way better striker.
Tigreal Mino di ban. Mereka mau Brody ya? Kalau ban Tigreal Mino kayaknya Brody Bruno.
Taken out from Deus Vault. They don't want to give the combo away.
Terizla, aduh sumpah ini nggak mungkin. Ini Bruno guys, nggak mungkin banget Brody. Ini kalau Brody sih anjing sih. Brody lawan Lilia sama Terizla, nggak mungkin nggak sih? Bruno ini, sumpah. Kari. Pokoknya nggak Brody deh. Nggak banget Brody, nggak banget. Sampai Blacklist Brody ya. Berarti Blacklist tuh pede banget. Gua nggak ngelihat Brody bagus di sini ngelawan Lilia. Ixia Terizla loh, Terizla loh ya. Bruno, Kari, apalagi
Now OHEB, does he just pick up the Bruno?
Beatrix kan? Nggak mungkin Brody, udah gue bilang nggak mungkin Brody guys. Oke, Beatrix dari OHEB guys. Kita lihat.
You have to take care of the lanes.
Devu last pick-nya. Roam ya, Roam mungkin bisa ngambil.
Yes, right? Which lanes? Yes.
Roam apa ya?
That's exactly what he does, honestly. We saw yesterday.
Romer stun sih, Arlot. Please Arlot, please. Sumpah ini Khalidnya bakal jadi dewa cowok kalau nggak ada Arlot. Kalau lu pick support kayak Matilda gitu, bagus sih buat Ixia, cuman ini Khalidnya bakal bebas. Khalidnya bakal bebas. Dibutuhkan seorang stunner seperti Kufra atau Arlot di sini. Edit udah. Please. Oke, Kaja. Kaja ya. Kaja termasuk hero stun nggak? Termasuk sih. Oke lah. At least dia nggak ngambil support lah ya. Kayak Estes atau Matil di ban. Beda sih, ini hitungannya suppress bukan stun, tapi ya tetaplah. Intinya ada yang bisa nge-stop Khalid. Biar Khalidnya nggak bebas-bebas banget.
So in the early game, don't care. Just pick anyone and finish them off.
And they've been winning in the clubbed up team fight, so maybe that might be it. Isolating them in the early game and clumping up in the late game.
Oke guys, game ketiga bisa jadi game terakhir dari Devu guys ya. Devu melawan Blacklist, let's go. Kita saksikan saudara-saudari apa yang terjadi di game ini. Sangat menegangkan, sangat menegangkan. 2 kali tuh menegangkannya. Sangat menegangkan, sangat mendebarkan, dan sangat menentukan. Kita lihat.
They gotta be aggressive, but at this point, they gotta make sure the calls are solid. The calls
mid
are
lane-nya
good.
soal lagi perang itu mid lane, aduh.
The damage has
Kameranya
to be
ke
there. If the
jungle,
damage
tai.
dealers aren't ready, it's gonna be a Blacklist game.
All right, so with what you said, they have to be aggressive. Do they just immediately start pushing in? And it looks like that's what they're already doing. Sawo already on Blacklist side of the river, and that is a good sight. They have the Lilia, they have that ability to kind of get into the face of Blacklist here, and as long as they can keep doing that, they can possibly control the pace. But here comes the emblems with them.
The firmness coming in from
Khalidnya mas rasasin biar bisa menang lane sama Terizla ya. Khalid lawan Terizla nggak kalah-kalah banget sih Khalid.
And the Master Assassin still has the choice for Carvey. That's an interesting one, man. On the Ixia, you would expect him to maybe go for just more damage or tenacity.
Yeah. I kind of feel like he hasn't really won the lane so far. So yeah, it is a very risky choice here.
Realistis menang di Blacklist. Cuman kalau kita ngomong semoga ya, semoga menang Devu.
Very low. Yue body blocking. And Renegade gets out, recalls back to safety.
So this is pretty normal for Deus Vault though. Even the past 2 games before this, they've been aggressive.
Itu 1-1 sama Beatrix menang Endi Max. Menang itu bukan 1-1 Bang, itu Ixia namanya. Menang Endi, menang Ixia kayaknya ya.
Magister actually takes that away
Ixia
from
landing
Sensui.
phase-nya
No
kuat sih, Bang.
retribution committed just yet because it's 7
By
seconds.
one. Tapi kalau lawan
Turtle
Betek,
spawns and Magister is going to be
Betek.
first onto
Gua
it now.
kurang tahu ya,
So
cuman
already a
kayaknya Ixia
difference
sih.
from game 1 and 2. Deus Volt are first on a neutral objective with more prio.
Kid Bomba getting attacked. Terrified.
Edward.
Nice!
Nice!
Oh, first blood!
First blood!
Bomba, even with US stolen penalty zone, wasn't able to save Edward.
Very well done
Ya,
by Deus Volt.
ini
Slowing down Edward is going to be huge.
turtle-nya kita lihat. Magister udah siap. Kalah retri. Tarik. Mati si Yue sih. Nice, itu Yue juga buang flicker ya. Early game yang baik dari Deus, walaupun turtle-nya kalah.
You try to get a trade on the turtle, you did not succeed. Get any kills. Even the
Kid Bomba alangin.
no one has completed items just yet.
Cepetan gak sih ultinya?
Penalty zone onto
Ada
Edward.
skill
This
2
might
nih
be a
Edward.
solo kill. Edward 1 HP, very low. Kid Bomba looking for a dive. One more hit should
Skill
do
2
it.
dong.
A hit and a flicker.
Hampir mati.
Ooh.
Kecepatan sih ultinya Kid Bomba.
And Edward
Sedikit
gets
lagi
out,
tadi.
saving his flicker.
We've seen
Rada
that play
rada
from
kecepatan
Mamba before,
dikit.
and I think in game 1 he paid for it. At least this time, he's like, no, I'm not going to risk it. We got to play smart. It's match point. I really want it. But I'm gonna back
itu belum
off.
hilang
I
loh
think
itu loh.
that was a good play by Bomba because Edward, if he had the same guard in time, if anything was to
Udah hilang
happen,
ternyata.
Bomba would have
Dia
been
lebih
down.
tahu damage-nya.
The concussive blast on Edward makes it so that even if it's very, very low,
Duitnya
he's
masih
able to
menang
clear the
Devu
very,
sih.
very high. So
Dia
even
ada
if something goes wrong, it
600.
still goes right.
It's an assassin
Dikejar,
emblem.
Cok.
It's everything
Energize.
with the damage as well, rupture, but it's concussive blast that helps him clear the wave. And Magister,
Lihat guys, Kid Bomba di sini ngebikin full tank ya. Nggak ada yang namanya Terizla pakai Fury Hammer.
The difference in terms of the gold, 2.5k gold for Kid Bomba, 1.9 for Edward. Edward again.
Karena gue udah bilang kemarin kalau lu Terizla pakai Fury Hammer pasti kalah lane. Edward udah siap nih. Edward udah siap.
Something I want to point out is yes, Devu is winning out in some of these fights right now, but the Magister Sensui rivalry here. Sensui's been coming out on these retributions a lot, even when it's 50-50.
First item dominance.
We all know in
Nice.
the end, a lot of these games comes down to who can pull off the Lord. So Magister definitely going to need to step up his game here.
Yeah, looks like Sao had an opportunity just now, but apparently just with Sunset
Gamenya
Lover,
pelan.
you don't want to take the risk, especially because UA having that divine judgment as well. Perhaps he was worried that he might get caught himself.
I think for both of them, they were trying to bait out each other's divine judgment. Right?
Kita lihat turtle
You do it first. No, you do it.
kedua.
Let both of them stay
4
patient
lawan.
and
Oh,
now
Khalidnya
it's
di atas
Deus
guys. Aduh, Ixianya. Nice, Valentina mati. Aduh, Ixianya mati nggak? Aduh, rugi banget. Ini Edward pinter banget, tai. Bisa-bisanya dia jadi roamer gitu loh, buat geng ke atas. Dia nggak perang di turtle, cok. Otaknya encer banget, anjing. Untung dapat Baxi ya. Sumpah otaknya Edward encer banget guys. Dia paham di turtle bakal kalah, dia langsung bantuin MM. Biasanya ngebantu MM tuh tank loh. Ini otaknya encer banget. Edward.
Speaking of mid game, now we're
Otaknya
transitioning
encer
into the
banget,
mid game. Deus Volt, they have to understand how they want to control the map at this point, because when you have a Kaja, controlling those bushes is going to be very productive for your own team. The moment you lose those bushes, the Kaja isn't going to be as effective.
Wow. Bomba just out-trading Edward straight up.
Yeah, he's definitely hit the spike. Edward a little bit behind.
Emang mati? Matilah ya. Aduh. Nice.
And it's a big shield unity slam to the ground to take Sensui out. Meanwhile, bottom lane still a 1v1 Sensui.
Bomba. Si Kid Bomba ini suka banget by one ya. 1 lawan 2. Bisa nggak nih 1 lawan 2? 1 lawan 2. Oke, Bomba masih ada flicker, bisa mundur. Yue datang. Yue datang. Wah, di dodge keren banget Kid Bomba nih. Gila. Mekaniknya acungin jempol sih. Gelo mekaniknya, serius. Gelo. Tapi duitnya Ixia sama Beatrix beda 1000. Ini si Kid Bomba ini nggak panik. Dia bisa go head to head sama Edward loh. Ngeri nggak sih?
Looking at the items as well. Oh, goes in.
Full barrage, a beautiful divine judgment from
mati
Sawo.
Edward.
But no more CC, quick sand guard by Edward.
Mati dong Lilia.
This one flickers out the safety.
Gila. Explainer jago-jago anjing. Kit bomba Edward. Apakah kalian yakin gue masih bisa bersaing sama Explainer kayak begini? Jago anjing.
10.000 dari Bunda Renejai. Pesan tanggapan lu Max, kenapa RR harus ambil 2 roamer luar?
Karena Rarki nggak terlalu percaya roamer di Indo kali. Woi, kalau percaya mah udah pasti ngambil roamer Indo banyak kan. Mereka mungkin mau nyoba sesuatu yang baru, yaitu dari roamer dari Filipina dan Myanmar. Nggak ada yang cocok kali roamer Indo buat RRQ. Mungkin cocoknya roamer yang dari Filipina dan Myanmar itu gitu loh.
Personal opinion, I kind of feel like that's more worth it for Blacklist.
Kit bomba lo akuin nggak Max? Gua akuin Kit bomba itu one of the best offlaner di M5, tapi bukan the best, bukan yang terbaik ya. Bukan yang terbaik, tapi salah satu terbaik. Salah satu. Untuk M5 kali ini dia udah bikin namanya naik banget sih. Impact-nya besar deh.
Alright, Blacklist now trying to fight back. Deus Volt have kind of held up the aggression in these fights, so we gotta watch because this is about the time that Blacklist normally hits that rubber band. Right around 8 to 9 minutes is when Blacklist finds that spike. They find that moment. They find that group.
Duitnya
all 5
persis.
of them can group together.
Bisa diperangin nggak? Ini,
woi!
Bomba! Matilah tai. Ya ampun. Kedepanan sih Kit bomba tadi ulti tapi Ixia-nya nggak bisa nge-damage. Dan di sini Terizla langsung meninggal sama bomnya Beatrix. Aduh mati Ixia-nya. Waduh, 3-0 dong begini dong. Baru gua puji, anjing udahlah, gua nggak mau puji sama siapa lah, tai. Udah guys, siapapun yang gua puji kalah anjing.
I thought for sure Carvey might have used the flicker. Wait, Sawo. We're going to find Judgment, locking Oheb down. A penalty zone as well. Oheb still doing a lot of damage, but it's not going to be enough. It's
Nice.
Nice.
Oheb mati. Aduh, bomba mati lagi 2 kali.
The hitman turns to heel man. Turns it around again. Deus Volt forced to run
10.000 dari hamba Koko M. Pesan Koko M predik dong Onyx vs Brand sama skornya juga.
3-2 Onyx. Kalau enggak 3-2 Brand. Berat itu berat.
Blacklist, they keep doing it. Whenever they're running away,
Kelas berat harusnya 3-2.
It's a setup. They're getting ready for a back. And the thing is, Deus Volt just keep going for it. Like Sensui was a superstar.
Puji Blacklist aja Koko Max biar kalah. Gila, Edward jago banget ya. Anjing, ini si Oheb duitnya udah 8.000 cok. Jauh sama si Carvey.
Now with the items finally, coming into this mid late, what are we looking at, LaFell?
It's scary. 8.4k on the Beatrix. The Beatrix has 3 items completed. The Ixia only has 2. And Renegade now having the Enchanted Talisman as well. They can do this Lord Dance all day. They got the mana regeneration. They got the cooldowns.
Yeah, and this has been the story for the past few games. Oheb has just had a free lane, and as long as Oheb gets a free lane, it is a problem, especially on something like this, a super comfort pick for him. Conceal play though.
Not gonna find anything. Blacklist International read that out with Edward earlier. Now Deus Volt, they take control more.
Yang lain.
Better space, I would say, around this Lord Pit, but Blacklist just are
Arlot
holding
sih bagus banget tadi
sebenarnya. He's not going to be giving it over to Deus Volt as the bottom.
Oke, kita lihat.
Deus Volt holding it down still.
Posisinya Blacklist enak. Simbang lah posisinya, simbang.
Deus Volt, get bomb, baton it up. Holy Bat connecting as well. Raging Sands on the back, Sawo. Gonna be gone.
Wah, anjing Yue.
With a penalty zone.
Tapi mati 2 sih. Mati 2 sih. Lorde dapat siapa? Wah, gua nggak lihat Lorde dapat siapa, guys? Dua tuker dua. Waduh, Blacklist yang dapat ya. Blacklist yang dapat, guys. Fuck.
We're gonna go for the Lord. We're gonna going for the kills. We're gonna look at the instant replay here. Looking at the positioning coming in from Deus Vault. Two-man Magister as well as Kid Bomba. They're on side. Sawa was there. Was able to
10.000 dari SEKARANGINDONESIA. Pesan, jangan kasih BLACKLIST or up brand skin champion 2X.
Siapa yang mau kasih skin 2 kali ke brand nama Blacklist? Gue juga gak mau kasih skin M series ke mereka berdua udah punya. Cuman kan kemenangan itu ada di tangan Onyx. Kita di sini hanya bisa mendukung guys sepenuh hati. Bisa nih. Waduh, Edward miss. Gas. Tolonglah comeback. Masa 3-0 sih?
What do they do here? Carvey, even when he's getting a full barrage.
Wah, anjing damage. Beatrixnya sakit banget dong.
They're feeling it. Sunset number 4 use the
Aduh,
purifier.
sisa Onyx sama 2 Filipin anjing. Aduh. It's GG guys, GG. Wah, perjalanan terakhir dari Rusia.
Dude, the damage from Blacklist is unreal. What can this will do? Holy
GG. Oh no! Ya, nice try lah ya Devu ya. Bener-bener sisa 2 tim Indo, bener-bener sisa 1 tim Indonesia dan 2 Filipina. Ini sama kayak M4 anjing. 1 Ararki dan 2 Filipin, Eko dan Blacklist ya waktu itu ya. Feeling gue kayak gak enak gini ya. Dua-duanya Filipina masuk top 3 anjing. 2 Filipina masuk top 3 cok. Ayolah guys, kita harus benar-benar satukan suara kita untuk Indonesia guys ya. Tolonglah. 1 Indo, 2 Filipin cok. Ini bukan keadaan yang baik untuk kita. Tapi ya udah nice try sih ya buat Devu. Udah keren banget. Intinya jangan lupa guys untuk terus dukung tim kalian yaitu Indonesia Onyx. Gue pamit undur diri, gue akan nge-gym dulu dan jam 2 kita akan lanjut untuk nobar Onyx ya. Semoga Onyx menang, amin. Kita doakan sama-sama agar Onyx bisa mengalahkan brand jadi grand finale Onyx. Abis itu Blacklist sama brand bunuh-bunuhan di lower bracket.
David, pesan yang lain mana Max tumben sendiri.
Iya nih nggak tahu nih. Yaudah guys, sekali lagi terima kasih untuk yang udah support, yang udah nonton. Jangan lupa di subscribe, nyalain notifikasi lonceng, like, dan yang pastinya kita akan bertemu lagi jam 2 nanti Onyx lawan brand. Jangan lupakan keseruan Onyx versus brand jam 2. Oke, gue pamit undur. I love you guys so much.